What up, everybody, and welcome to an impromptu stream. My name is Paul Abernathy, if you don't know who I am, and this is a how-to quick video stream that we're doing for the Fast Trax program, for anybody that's interested in the Fast Trax program, but really it's for students in the Fast Trax program for them to understand how to properly use the program. So it's not really something we're doing for anybody that's looking to get the program, although you're free to ask questions if anybody happens to stumble in on it. But we're recording this to show students the best way they should be utilizing the Fast Trax program. I get a lot of questions from people who say, Paul, what do I do in the program? How long do I spend time in the program? What do I do when I'm in the program? So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you a bit of an overview of what the program is like and how you're going to move through the program and what are the different folders. That way you know what you're supposed to do if you're a Fast Trax student. We get a lot of them that ask various questions about doing this and that in the program, so we want to make sure they understand how to do it in the program. All right, so we're going to go to the program itself, and then I will kind of walk you through what you got to see here. All right, so if you're new to the Fast Trax program, this is what your console looks like. Everything running down the side here. These are your navigation buttons. This allows you to get to your flashcards. This lets you get to see your grades that you've submitted, and I've given you feedback, and you can go in there. So you should scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I'll kind of give you an idea of what that looks like here. If I can kind of do this, if you scroll down, you'll see down here, you'll see this little circle right here. That typically is what you're going to see if you get to the bottom and you want to actually, hold on, let me make sure I turn off my phone here. Sorry about that, folks. There's a lot of noise coming in. All right, so that's what you're going to see at the bottom, and that's where you go to see all of the grades that I've done, all the stuff that we've done. You're going to go right there, and so that little green dial that you see right there at the bottom of your screen right here, this is where you're going to go do your progress. Now, we do grading for Fast Trax students every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's where you're going to go when you've submitted something to be graded. You're going to end up going there to do that. So it's that's the place to go for that. All right. So once you're there, now there's a bunch of different things here that are on the side. Like these are the flashcards. This is your study hub. This is the book that you can open up and see the book and everything. So if you need to open up the book, in order to see what it looks like, and I kind of give you an idea what that looks like. You won't be able to see it too well behind me, but it's kind of the book with all the pages, and you can go to the table of contents and go to any page in the program, any unit in the program, okay? So that's what that is. So that's there. You can print out any page. You can change the size of the text on the page, all those type of things. You can pop it out so it's full screen. It's not necessary because you're doing all your work over here on the left side of your console. But anyway, there's what you've got there. There's some glossary of terms. For example, if you're working on your terms like appliance, that's what the definition of appliance is. Different ones like main bonding jumper. These are great to go to when you're doing your competency reviews, especially in Unit 2 where you're trying to do definitions. You can open up this glossary, and when you see something that asks for a definition, you can come over here and you can just left click, drag over it, right click and copy it. And that way you're giving us the best definition. Okay. So that's a feature you've got right there. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So first thing that I usually tell students, anybody that's new to the program, I tell them the first thing you need to do is open that very first folder at the top, how to properly use the Fast Trax program. And there's a video. It's going to walk you through what you need to know. And it's basically giving you an overview of what I'm doing here today, where you would go through each one. But I want to give a little more expanded view for those that aren't familiar with the Fast Trax program. So And your console will look similar to this, except you won't have the green button in the middle for adding and editing and things like that, because that's where I add videos and different things in order to enhance the program. So that's what you're going to do. And let's see. So first thing I do is I go in here, and there's a video. You're going to watch this video. Okay. So once you watch that video, you're moving into section number 1. Once you're into section number 1, you open it up, and you're literally going to go do the reading material. After you've done the reading material, you're going to do the competency review. If you have other folders in here, like this study tools, you're going to go in here and practice these flashcards, and we'll look at those in a second, because you should be doing your flashcards every session. Okay? And you should be creating your own flashcards, by the way. So we've got the assessment that you're going to do after your review. This is the one that's the big deal here. And then you got an assessment that you do. You got some videos to watch in here at your leisure. And then, of course, in this one, you have some drill work to do. Okay, so this is just a drill work that you do. And so what you're doing is you're completing everything in a unit before you move on to the next unit. And again, now, when you do the reading material, and we'll look at that in a second, but after you do the reading material, you're going to have to do a couple things, folks. This is not teaching you everything that you need to know in the reading material. It gives you majority of what you need to know, but again, the NEC is a big document. So in the reading, we're going to send you to areas in the NEC that you need to read. And so the whole process of a Fast Trax is to move you back and forth through the course material, then into the NEC, back to the course material, the NEC, all those type of things is what the program's trying to do. It's trying to make you more comfortable with navigating through the NEC by also giving you course material, okay? So we'll look at each one of these real quick, keep it simple, but here's the reading material. So if I click the reading material, here's what you'll see. Okay, so you'll have your reading material, and you're literally going to see the arrows to the left and to the right of your screen. Now, one of them's kind of obscured by me a little bit, but once you read all this material in a quiet, controlled environment, a lot of people have problems on our competency reviews and things like that, simply because they don't focus in a quiet environment to read this material. It doesn't matter whether you're doing it on a desktop or a laptop or even a tablet. So it really doesn't matter. The key here is you have to be in a quiet environment so that you can understand and fully embrace what you're reading. All of the information is here. Now, let me show you what happens when you go through the material here. So as you move through the material, you'll go through it. This is the beginning. It kind of tells you about the history of the NEC, and this is just unit 1. And you scroll all the way down till you've read everything. Now, again, one of the other features that you have here is the ability to left click. I'll just start right here. Left click and drag over this, for example, and you have this pop-up comes up. Now, when that pop-up comes up, you have two options. You can highlight the text, or you can actually have it read it to you. Okay, so if you're sitting back and you just want to listen to it, then highlight the whole thing and click the read text. But I want you to not get too complacent with that, right? I want you to kind of get used to reading the material. And if you want it to play any part of it to you, feel free to use that feature. That's what it's there for. Some people learn by visually seeing it. Some people have to do it. And some people learn by just reading something. So you've got the visual learners, you got the audible learners, and you got the physical learners that have to put their hands on stuff, right? And so different approaches to how you learn. What we're trying to do in the Fast Trax program is tickle all those senses. We're going to give you illustrations. We're going to give you the verbiage you need to read. If you want to listen to it, you can do it as well. Okay? So you have different options for you. If anybody says they cannot learn the NEC with this system, they are not doing the system right, because code is code. What we try to do is put it in a way that you can understand it. And that's the key. Putting it in a way that you can read it. And remember, I am always here to help. You can email me. There should never be a student who says that they can't email me or get in touch with me. There's a multitude of emails that come to me, whether it's info@masterthenec.com, whether it's info@electrocodecademy.com, whether it's paul.abernathy@electrocodecademy.com. You got our website at electrocodecademy.com.net.org, and it has a contact us feature on it. Heck, you can even go to paulabernathy.com and do something through the Ask Paul portal if you need an answer. There is no excuse for reaching out to me and asking me a question, okay? So in this case scenario right here, let's say I want to read the text. I'll just click read the text here. Let's see. Maybe I skipped it. Hold on here.
New York City was home to the first central station electric generating plant developed by Thomas A. Edison.
Okay. So hopefully you heard that on your screen. And basically you can have it read it to you. You can change the cadence. You can change the dialect. All those things you can change. If you don't like it, you want Australian voice, you want English, whatever. You do whatever your flavor. The other thing that you'll notice is at the top of the screen up here, you can print any page you want. You can print any graphic you want. Unlimited. You print the whole book if you want. If you want to bookmark any page to come back later where you left off, use the bookmark feature. And when you bookmark it, it'll appear over here in your study hub. And that way you can go straight to your study hub and you can go right back where you left off. If you want to change the size of the text, you can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. If you want to highlight and have it read it to you, you can also click this feature. It'll read the whole thing. Okay. At any time, you can click the table of contents and you can go back to the beginning. So you go through it and you keep going through it, read the material, try to absorb the material. You really need to focus. Now, here's a couple questions that people do ask. Do I have to have a laptop or a desktop to do this? Absolutely not. You can do the Fast Trax program on a tablet. You can do it. I mean, I cringe to say you can do it on your phone, but it is browser based. So you could do it on the phone if you wanted to, but it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of small. Of course, you could do pinch to zoom, but when you get to the competency reviews, and we'll look at those in a second, when you get to those, it's a little more harder because you have to submit stuff and type stuff in. But one thing I will tell you, it is browser based. So everything in here is based on a browser. So it doesn't matter whether you're a Mac, it doesn't matter whether you're a PC, tablet, Galaxy tablet, iPad, it doesn't matter. As long as you have a browser, this will work. Okay. All right. So as you can see here, as I go through the program, I read the material. And as you can see, there's information in here. This is on NFPA. Again, revised every 3 years since 1975. It happens to be one of the questions on the competency review. People get it wrong, but there it is. It became consistent since 1975. Prior to that, it was all over the place. Every 3 years, every 2 years, and every 4 years, it just kind of went all over the place. In this, you'll get an understanding of how the NEC's developed. This is Unit 1. Now, the reason we do this, somebody asked, why do we do this? The reason we do this and go through the NEC history is because it's important that you understand terminology. It's important that you understand the history. It also helps you with navigation and how you work through things. Okay. But again, something that I definitely want people to understand the terminologies and how things are laid out in the code. And that's why we go through it. We have somebody in the chat that says, I've done it so far mostly on the phone. Kind of a pain, but it still get it done. Yeah, it's small. So that's a testimony right there. It can be done on a phone. It can be done on any browser. It's just, obviously it's small. And if you're aged like me, you can't see these screens very well. So we do recommend at least a tablet or something to give you a little bit more screen real estate. It does help you work it out a little bit better. Okay. All right. So for those students that are in the program, once you go through, you see great illustrations. Charles does a wonderful job on his illustrations. You keep moving through and you'll see formal interpretations. You'll understand what these are, informational notes, what they are, explanatory, kind of how the structure is laid out. You'll learn mandatory rules, permissive rules. You'll learn all of that stuff, highlighting what the highlights mean, what the in and the margins. pay attention to this stuff because this stuff helps you later on, okay, as you start learning the code, okay? All right, so I want to jump real quick to show you some other features. So once you go through the reading material, just work your way systematically through that. Then you're going to get to the review. Now, the review is, in a Fast Trax for students, the review is the most important part of the actual program, because what it's doing is it's requiring you to put an NEC reference and an answer. And that answer is substantiated by that NEC reference. Now, of course, you're in Unit 1. People say, well, what NEC reference would I give? You give wherever you found the information. If it's in the front of the course book, you put front of the course book. If it's in the front of the NEC, where you have the introductory information, then you put NEC front page or NEC introductory. But don't leave things blank. The key to being successful, look, you're trying to prepare for your exam, right? The key thing to being successful is that you want to make sure that you do repetitious and that you're looking things up. Oh, and by the way, underneath me, that is not my name, Stephen Small and Aaron. This is our most recent subscriber to our channel. And this is the last super chat that was donated. Okay, that's the little dollar symbol at the bottom in your chat feature. That's what they are. They update as people donate. Sorry about that. And that's also what the top bar is up there in case you're new to this and really don't understand the format that we're going with. All right, so fill it out and I will again give you, so make sure you're very descriptive, give your NEC reference and your answer, okay? Now, once you do that and you get all the way to the bottom, then you can click submit. It will come to us for grading. And again, we do grading on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. In fact, today, did grading today for all the students, okay? So you can go look at your grade. And again, you can go down here in the bottom right, go to your green here. You should click on that, go in, look at your review, and you will see questions and my commentary. Now, let me explain something to folks that are maybe new, okay, new students. If you get a 60%, well, I should say this. Let me say it differently. If you get below 60%, we are not going to give you the answers. Look, you came to learn the program. You came to learn the NEC. It does us no good giving you answers if you're struggling. It is okay to do a unit twice. It is okay to do a unit 3 times. It's perfectly fine. The more time you spend in it, the more you're going to learn. And I noticed that what you'll see is if you get a 30 or a 40 or a 50 on a unit and I tell you to go do it again, the next time you do it, your scores hopefully will increase if you slow down and pay specific attention to the reading material, okay? Now, I'm going to show you some tips about this reading material here so that you got an understanding for those that are in the Fast Trax program. So, but again, if you get below 60, you're going to do it again. If you get 60 and higher, we will give you the answers with some commentary. And the expectation of all students are that you take what we give you, you go back to that unit, you don't press forward, you go back to that unit, you look at the answer to that question, and you spend some time searching for why you got that question wrong. Don't be so quick to move on to the next unit. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. The more that I can engage you into the program, the more you're going to come away with it and learn, okay? So you want to spend the time necessary in the program in order to be able to truly understand the material, okay? Don't try to rush through it. Also, I'll talk about practice exams and all that here as we get further on, because that's something for all of you Fast Trax students that are in this program. You need to be doing the practice exams, okay? And I'll explain those right when we get to that point. Okay, let me go back here. And okay, so this is what we do. Go through the competency reviews. Let's go back. So then you go through the videos and then you go through these drills. Again, the drills, I'll just show you what they look like. So for those that aren't familiar with it, make sure you do the assignment. And here's your drills. And again, all it's going to do is test you on your information, okay? 30 volts or less, okay? Check my work. There you go. It's correct. 411. Okay, it's right after 410. That's where you've got 30 volts or less applications in 410. So you're going to these, you can see, you can check yourself, you can see how well you did. You can move on to the next one. It'll stay green. You can work your way on through it. Okay. By which of the following organization is the NEC sponsored? Okay, National Fire Protection Association. Do you want to check your work? Check your work. It's correct. Okay, so you move through all of that to get to the end. Basically, you're working it out yourself, seeing what your answer is. Now, if you get it, you can also click this here, and you can go up here and click that is correct. Let's see here. Now, if it's wrong, it will let you click on it and get some additional information. But you're correct. It obviously assumes you know what you're doing. Okay, so we won't do that one. All right, so go through the entire folder. Do everything in there before you move to the next unit. That's critical. Now, when you get to the next unit, here's your reading for the next unit. Everything the same. You've got some videos, you've got some drill work, you got some assessments, you got some reviews. Everything in there needs to be done. Look in every folder. Now, the only thing that you don't necessarily have to do is do the overview, because you're already involved in the reading. So the overview is just kind of an overview. And we may remove that because, again, people think, well, am I supposed to watch that again or look at that again? Well, you could, and it wouldn't hurt you. But really, you're going to get everything out of your reading material. So let's go to the reading material again, because I want to show you some features. All right, so here's a trick. In this unit, okay, in this thing, it's Basement King says it's a little blurry. That's probably going to be your stream output. I don't know that I can control any of that type of stuff. So I can't really control that part. It's probably going to be download and upload speeds that has to do with the blurry part of it. Okay, so one of the things in the Fast Trax program is you're going to see these little chevrons. Okay, now these little chevrons are right here. Anytime you see a chevron, you should stop, go into your code book. So I want you to read this, then you go to Article 100 and read it again. So same information, but I need you to do that. Okay. So when you get down here to this illustration here, where it says a service disconnecting means must be readily accessible, it may be located either outside or inside the nearest entry point for the service conductors, 230/70A1. Okay, so this is outside. Now, you want to go and look at 230.70A1. Anytime you see a chevron, stop, go to your code book. I need you to be moving in and out of your code book. That's what we need you to be doing. Then you scroll down, read everything that you need to see under notes and things like that, and then move on. Accessible. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to definitions in Unit 2, let's see here. Let me make sure this is streaming all right. So when we go to, when you go to the Unit 2, and it talks about definitions, this is where we in the Fast Trax program start to set your algorithm. So we have an algorithm set up that we know whether or not how much time you spend on something, how much you're in a unit, how much time, things like that. And so when you're in the unit, like Unit 2, for example, it's not going to give you every definition that's going to be on your competency review. Why? Because it assumes by now that you know that you're in Unit 2, which is dealing with definitions. If you see something on the unit review or the competency review, guess where you go? You go to Article 100, right? That's what we're trying to send you. That's how we're trying to get you used to moving from the course material into the NEC. And so some students, for example, will submit a Unit 2, for example, and they'll leave blanks. And they're like, and that's a dead giveaway for us that all you did was read the course material. You didn't go to the NEC, because if you had gone to the NEC, you would have found the answer. And that's how we can tell, one way we can tell, because you should not be submitting any blanks. Now, if you just don't understand something, put a question mark in there if you want to get it wrong, that's fine. But blanks drive me crazy, right? Because it means, it tells me that you just gave up, that type of thing. To me, it does anyway. And I don't like anybody that gives up. So here's, you go through great illustrations. Again, A is for the lamp here, and B here for the conductors. It would be inside of the actual junction box. Okay. All those type of things are here. Again, you can bookmark it. You can print it. People ask about printing pages. Print all you want. But you simply go through it. A bathroom. Here's the funniest thing. Article 100, there's another chevron. So I would highlight that. Okay. Here's the thing. You'd be surprised how many people in the Fast Trax starting out do not, when they ask the question on the competency review and it's about a bathroom, they never say sink or basin. But it has to have a sink or basin first. And then it can have a tub, a shower, a bidet, or similar plumbing fixture. Ironically enough, a lot of people put toilet and bathtub. And I'm like, you've got to have a sink first. And it says it right there. So when you're doing your competency reviews, it tells me you did not read the material in a quiet environment. Focus. It's right there on the screen. So, but also, again, you got chevrons, so you should be going to Article 100. Definitely. You should be going to that. Okay. So that's the kind of, one of the things that you think about. All right. So let's see here. Let's see. Where are we at next? Okay, let me go back to the normal material here. All right. So anyway, there's all you've been there. There's the definition. There's showing you, pointing out the areas and everything that defines what a bathroom is. And of course, you have all these call outs that you can be aware of and follow. Again, you can print any of this all you want. There you go. Appliances. Gives you a good definition of appliance. There's Article 100 again. You can also click the image and it will pop up on the right, bigger. Of course, it's behind me, but you can print from there if you want to print an enlarged version of it. That's perfectly fine. If you want to print it, you can do it this way. But there it is right there. And you can right click and you can save the image or whatever you want to do with it. Here you scroll down here. You can scroll to see the image a little bit bigger. And you can close it right there. Okay. Now here's a couple other features I'll tell you about. So let's say I stopped right there and I bookmark it. So I'm in Unit 2 and I'm 2-1F. If I'm like, I'm gonna stop right here. This is Fast Trax students. So I stop, I'm gonna bookmark it. Okay. So I close it. So now I want to come back to where I was or where I left off. I go over here to my study hub, and on my study hub, I go to my bookmarks. And under my bookmarks, I have one. There's the 2F1 for my definitions. I click on it, and you see it brings me right to where I was over here. Then I can close this, and I can continue right where I was before. So that's a great bookmark feature. Also, anything that you highlight, watch this again. I'll click here. See these notes and highlights? All the stuff that I've been highlighting, what I've been doing in here. See, there's that one I highlight. Here's the one for bathroom. There it was. Do I want to go there? Click that. Takes me right to the area where I highlighted it. There's something that I want to call out, or maybe you're doing it and you're preparing for our Wednesday night sessions and you want to go through your program and you've got it running on your side as well when you come to class. Then you can say, hey, Paul, I got a question in 2-1E. But you know what? You can go to your study hub and you can go to all of the things that you highlight or any notes that you make so that you can bring them up during class. Because when you come to our class, this is unique, okay? Unique, because nowhere else can you get an exam preparation program where the instructor is like you. Whether you hate it, love it, hate me, or whatever, there is no other educator that's doing this, that creates programs that I spend a lot of time grading and a lot of time on Wednesday night with you folks trying to help you understand the NEC. So I got my haters out there and I got my people that just really are loyal people that have been following me for years. The fact of the matter is I'm here for one purpose, one goal, and that is to teach you the NEC. That's it. Because I want to see you succeed. I want to see you make it to the next level. Whatever your dreams are, that's what I want. I love the emails. I love the text from people succeeding. Tim Johnson, crushing it. He was in the Fast Trax program. He's taking tests all over the country. Just killing it, dude. That's our future right there. The Basement King, Grunberg, killing it. All right. these people are into it, okay? Really working the system. And, you know, so that's what this is all about, okay? This is why I created this, okay? And I don't know anybody else that's doing it. Yeah, people stream here, people stream there, people write books, people do this, people create videos, but it doesn't immerse you like this does. And even if you could get something like this, you don't get the added benefit of me trying to help you. That's what the Fast Trax program tries to do. Now, whether you take advantage of it or not, that's on you. That's not on me. That's on you, okay? So if you look at it, you'll see that all these little features that you can do, highlight and whatnot, and go through it. Now, I want to show you a couple more things that you should be doing. You should, again, finish everything in your units, box fills, everything. Anytime you see those chevrons, go look it up in the code book and read it again. Repetition is key here, okay? All right, so you move through each folder. Once you're done section 2, you go into this one, do everything in there, go to this one. Now look, anytime you're doing calculations, guys, you should be downloading these folders, these forms, okay? I click on it, all right, and you've got this form right here. Okay, this is what you need to be filling out so you don't make the mistakes when you're doing the competency reviews for Unit 8, for Unit 11, for Unit 13. These forms have code references on it that tells you where to go and look at it so that you can stop. Look, it's not a race here. You're not trying to get through the reading material so you can real quick run and do the competency review. I want you to take your time. So remember, if you're studying for 90 days, then it's 2 times a week for 4 hours minimum that you're dedicating to the program. If you're doing it and trying to do it within 60 days, then it's 3 times a week for 4 hours. Dedicated study. Close everybody off, okay? Get in your little space, in your own little cocoon, and study. Because once all the studying's done, once it's all over with, then you'll have a better understanding of the NEC. And as you move forward, you'll only have to touch up your knowledge by doing continuing eds and things like you're supposed to do. Who wants to take an exam course or watch DVDs or videos where you get nothing out of it? You have no interaction. Who wants to do that? This is the only way that I know to do it. Okay. All right. So anyway, there you go. There's that. You print these out. Okay, you can download them, whatever you want to do. There's your little download button. You can download it right there and print it out. There you go. All right, so go through the reading material, go through the review, go into the study tools, do the flashcards, watch the videos that might be here in Unit 8, and do the drill and move on. See here, only 18% of this block of students, only 49 students have done the NEC drill work. So I'm assuming that only a certain number of them, they've either, what they've done is they've either skipped or decided they didn't want to do it. I'm not even 100% sure what that is when it comes to that. I would expect them to actually, whoops, hold on for a second, move my screen. I would expect them to actually, you know, do something with that. Hold on for a second. I got alert boxes coming up from oh Lord, Jay Grunberg's at it again. Okay, donating away. So let me make the little dude bigger so you can all appreciate Jay's little thing. I'll run it again for Jay. There he goes. Oh, 99 cents. Way to go, Jay. There you go. And you notice that he appeared down here under my name. Okay, probably ought to make that a little bit bigger, but there you go. All right, so anyway, back to where I was doing. Jay, you got me distracted as always, buddy. All right, so anyway, do everything in the unit, do all the drills. Again, why somebody would only 49 people would do this drill, I have no idea. Because it's there for you to do. Okay, so do everything in there before you move on. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about important videos. You got all your videos down here that you probably have embedded in here as well, but these are all good to watch. Some of them are dated a little bit, but that's okay. They teach you things, 3 ways, GFCIs, AFCIs, basic knowledge. But one of the things that I do is we put our Zoom classes down here. So if you go to our Zoom meeting on Wednesday night and you want to know where they are in your program, that when I do them, they get added here. So for example, if I click on that, you'll see multiple videos here from other sessions. Like here's the Unit 11 review. You want to know how to do Unit 11? Now don't cheat, okay? If you're struggling with Unit 11, go here and watch the video. But the videos here, the most important classes are here, okay? Sometimes I don't upload them all because some of them really aren't pertinent. They're just kind of, maybe we're just doing a little bit of something and it's not overly important, or I've covered it before and we already have a better video, then it's going to be up here. But you just click the link and you can watch the videos. Okay, so they're all down here. Under each one of these links, you'll have a bunch of them. Okay, all right, so that's where we store videos. In case you're wondering, that's where we put your Fast Trax recordings. And then all of a sudden, people are not doing these practice exams. First of all, make sure you watch the video on how to identify the route, and then you go in here. Now, people ask me, what should you be doing? I believe you should be, look at this, only 13%, 35 out of 270 people have actually done these. This is how you're going to test your skills. This is how you're going to do it. So what you do is every week, try to make it a point to do one of these. Now, here's what you're going to say to me. Well, Paul, if I just started, some of these questions are going to be too hard for me. Wow. Thank you guys. Appreciate you doing the donations again. Shout out to your Smart Wired. Thank you again. Basement King. Thank you as well. He bumped you off the list there, Basement King. So one of the key things is making sure that you do these practice tests. Now, it doesn't matter if you do one and you bomb it. That's okay. The whole goal is to get you looking it up in the code book, because what you're going to notice is you can do these over and over and over again. And what's going to happen is as you move and get further on in the Fast Trax program, you're going to start noticing your scores naturally. And we do that on purpose. You're going to notice those scores to get better and better and better. So what we recommend you do, okay, is always go and get our free PDF that's the 60-day or the 90-day. Hey, look, even if you're not taking your exam for 6 months, it doesn't matter. I need you to study like you're getting it in 90 days. And then you can start over again in 90 days. Remember, it's immersive. Put yourself into it. I want you to succeed. So do these practice exams over and over. If you don't get an 85%, guess what? Do it again. Do it again. They shuffle them up. It's all about getting you to work through the NEC. That's what we're here for. This is not brain surgery here. The reason that we created this was because it's not that you couldn't sit down with the code book and flip through, because you can, and many people have. The problem is there's no way to study, and most people need direction. When you go to a course, you go to somebody's school, you go to college, you go to university, you go to high school, there's a curriculum, there's a course, there's a path that you follow. That's where the majority of people who reach out to me and say, Paul, help me. I've failed the exam 3 and 4 times. It's not that everybody has reading comprehension problems. We all do. Hell, I know I do. And I've been doing this for 30 plus years. But what I did find out is that if you go in a successive order through these units and jump out of a unit, go do a practice exam, jump back up into the unit, keep going. Next week, go do a practice exam or 2. Keep moving in and out of doing these practice exams. Now, are these practice exam questions perfect? No, they're really good. There's over 800 plus of them just in the bottom alone. There's a couple of them that I don't like, but I don't control that. But it doesn't matter, because we buy this module the way it is, and they're very popular exam-based questions. And a lot of people tell us the words that were in these were exactly like it was on the exam. So what's the beautiful thing about that? Look at y'all are going crazy with the donations. I appreciate it. I really do. And it actually, there's my ADD. It gets me off of my topic. So make sure you just do these practice exams. We need to have the percentages up more on these. That's 13 and 14% is not good enough, guys. And again, it's all about doing them over and over and over again. Okay, let me get back to this so I can wind you up here. So here's all of them. Look at all of them you got here. See these percentages of 270 students that are in this block, and I have multiple blocks, but in this block, this kind of like this is the class of this block. There's 270 students in it. Only 35 have done this. Okay, more you have to do it. And the average score is 76. I need it to be 85%. So look at these scores. They're in the 60s, the 70s. That means these are not easy questions. They're not. Even if you had one or two bad questions in the bulk, you would, if you knew what you're doing, really focusing on it, then you're going to get good high scores. Here, only 14 people out of this have taken this one. What do these look like for those that are maybe popping in on the stream and you've never seen the Fast Trax before? Let me give you an inside peek real quick of what these look like. So this is kind of what you see on the screen, and we use these on Wednesday nights. And again, if you're interested in doing that, you can watch us on Wednesday night. If you become a monthly subscriber, you can get access to our Wednesday night sessions. Also, if you're a Fast Trax student, you obviously get access to it. That's a no-brainer. And that's on Zoom. But starting this Wednesday, we're going to be broadcasting our sessions on Wednesday night live. Now, what that means is you can join us on Facebook and YouTube, and you can watch, and you can listen to our conversation, and you can learn with us. But let me tell you what, once that session ends, they are gone. They are deleted. The only ones that'll get access to the actual sessions are the monthly subscribers and our Fast Trax students. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm opening the door to allow you out there to learn and partake and join in, because we'll be doing other lessons, not just exam prep. It's all part of exam prep, but I'll be doing some residential stuff, some commercial stuff. We'll be doing calculations. This week, we're doing voltage drop. I'm opening the door to let you see it. Look, I struggle with the fact that I have to make money. We have to make a living. You all are gracious enough to support me. I've been trying to give back for 30 plus years. We took it, I don't know if that's a word. We took it in-house and got rid of the public streams, but I want to bring it back only for you to choose to join us live. I'm not putting them out there for the public to get the clicks. I'm not about the clicks, okay? I'm not about that part of it. We love subscribers because that lets you know when a live stream comes up. So I encourage you to subscribe if you're new to the channel. But we're not about the clicks, okay? So once the stream is gone on a Wednesday night, it's gone, unless you're a Fast Trax student or a monthly subscriber. But hey, at least I'm giving you the ability to join us at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I think that's an awesome thing for you to be able to join us again and partake in this. All right, so anyway, this is what it kind of looks like. You can go through it. There's 25 of them. Again, you see how many? There's 20 sets of 25 tests. And these you can do at your leisure. Now, when you start getting down to the last 2 weeks before your exam, you're going to pull your phone out and you're going to use the timer feature that's built into every cell phone. And you're going to set the timer for 2 minutes. And you're going to go to this question like this. And I can do it right now. I'll hit the timer, and I go, hit the timer. And then you go to the question and you have to answer the question. And you're building up your speed and how you do this, okay? An emergency system is required to have blank, to have power available in the event of a failure of the normal electrical power supply. So we know this is an emergency system. You'll learn that that's Article 700. You'll learn that, okay, well, let's see. Optional standby, there is no time limit, right? And legally required, 60 seconds. But I need to have it start up within what? 10 seconds if it's emergency. And what the Fast Trax does, for those that are not familiar, is it also gives you the code reference down here. And you can see this works for 2017 and 2020 in this edition. Now, if you're in the 2020 Fast Trax, you'll get 17 and 20, so you can look at the context of the two. If you're in the 2017 program, you'll get the 2014 and 2017 at the bottom here for you, because that's the one that you're transitioning from, probably in your jurisdiction, okay? So again, that's how it's broken down. And you simply go through it, and it will tell you where the reference is, and you can go look it up, okay? If at any point you get a question that you think is wrong or you don't agree with, do me a favor. While it's still on the screen like this, do a screen capture. The whole screen, everything, so I can see which exam it is, which test it is, which question it is, and send it to me. And I will send them to Cengage, and we'll try to get it corrected. But there's not that many of them. Hey, but look, even a bad question, still a good question. Because if it makes you think, if it makes you look it up, if it drives you literally freaking crazy, you're going to learn something. Trust me, you're going to learn. The more time that you can spend in that NEC, the better you're going to be. And at the end of the day, when you're out in the field, it's not just about passing an exam. You need to be proficient. How many times have you gone to TikTok, Instagram, all these other places and seen these pictures that people post about their install and they're very proud of it, yet it's riddled with code violations? Okay? Don't do that. Okay? So anyway, there you go. So you've got that. All right, so you kind of, that's what that looks like. Now let's see here. I'll go back. And so you've got a bunch of these. And then of course you've got some final exams. And here's the final exams. For example, here's the residential one. Only 2% of our students have done this. All right, so I've already been in this, so you can see where I'm already started. But you'll see that there are 75 in this one that you can work through and time yourself. Okay, so it's just one of those things that you just get familiar with. You can answer it and you click on and you move through it. So that's the final exams. You got 3 of those. Now, real quick, I want to talk about flashcards because I don't think enough people do flashcards. Over here on the right side, down near the bottom, you've got the flashcards, right? Flashcards. When you're doing flashcards, you can create any number of flashcards. I like to go down here and I like to click on flashcards. You can jump and do flashcards on any of these units to hone your skills, and you should do these. It doesn't mean you have to memorize them. You know, you just get familiar with them. Trust me, the more you do them, make yourself do it before every session. Okay? So one of the things that I do tell people to do is to go into Unit 1 and then go down here to create cards. Now, I like to create all mine in Unit 1 because Unit 1 is just the introduction to NEC. So that's a good place to keep all of them. So I'll do a create a card, and I want you to get familiar. And you heard me talk about this for years about creating flashcards. There's no need to do that anymore. Again, we're in a modern age here. So you create Article 100, and then down here, you can do definitions, okay? And you save it. And so Article 100, definitions. You can create a flashcard, and here's what you should be doing, okay? Again, you can say, God, it's a lot of work, Paul. Or you could say, I'm going to nail this freaking exam. I'm going to be the best freaking electrician I can be. I'm going to be the leader of my company. I'm going to be the best electrician that anybody's ever seen. And that's what I shoot for, okay? People say, oh, Paul, that's just too much. It's not too much, okay? It is not too much. It is what you should be striving for, okay? So at the end of the day, definitions, create all the definitions that you can, and feel free, like I'm doing that one, I could create another one. I could do Article 210, and that is branch circuits. Do that one, save. Okay, there it is, 210, branch circuits. It gets shuffled into the mix. I could do another one. Let's see here. Grounding, electrode, conductor, sizing. And I could put down here, I could be 250.122. Or would that be equipment grounding conductors? Yeah, it would be. So we're going to go 66. Still another one I see wrong in the Fast Trax all the time. Okay, just remember, equipment grounds, 250.122. Grounding electrode conductors, 250.66. Bonding, supply side bonding jumpers, grounding conductor sizing, all of that, system bonding jumper sizing, all 250.102C1. Create tables for that. Boom, right there, grounding electrode conductor sizing, 250.66. Hammer, hammer, hammer. It's that easy. And you come here before every session and do them. NRTL, Nationally Recognized Testing Laboratory. Nationally Recognized Testing Laboratory. They are responsible for the third-party testing of products. Luminaire, lighting fixture. But we're used to calling it lighting fixture, but now it's luminaire. Understand that word luminaire. When somebody starts saying luminaire, 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 you know that's a lighting fixture. Any NFPA, National Fire Protection Association. All those type of things. That could be on an exam under the knowledge portion of the exam. You don't know what could be on the exam in your state. So you're preparing for the worst case scenario, folks. So anyway, there you go. That's some of your flashcards, and that's how you should be doing the flashcards. Again, the book is available right here. Glossary of terms is available right here. Other stuff here we don't really use. If you go into the progress, again, you can see all of your exams, and you can see my comments on all of your exams. Just go in there and read them. And then the key to being successful, folks, the key to being successful is that when I give you a competency review, that you actually go back into that unit and take your time and you try to figure out why you got it wrong. And if your grade's below 60%, it's okay. Do the unit again. Do it a second time. I can tell you right now, if you're in the program and you should be doing Unit 8, Unit 11, and Unit 13 multiple times. You should be hammering it, hammering it, hammering it. Okay? I see a lot of times people will watch the video that I do on how to do Unit 8, 11, and 13. And so they get the portion that we cover in the video correct. But guess what? They get the top part that we might not cover, they get it wrong. So I can tell they watched the video, but then it makes me worried that did you really understand the content? And that's important to me. And so I'm going to tell you right now the ways to reach me. Again, before we end it, and I'll go to the chat here a little bit bigger here. So the ways to reach me are at paul.abernathy@electricalcodeacademy.com. So it's paul.abernathy@electricalcodeacademy.com. You can reach me at info@masterthenec.com. You can reach me on our website. If you go to our website, electricalcodeacademy.com.net or .org, over on the right, you'll see a Contact Us button. And if you don't, click the More button and it'll drop down if it's depending on how much stuff I have in the top. My websites get very busy, sorry. And click on it and you can reach out to me. And I am more than happy to answer any question that you would have on the program, any code question. Now, if you are watching this and you send me code questions and you're not a student of mine or you're not in our program, understand that you're not going to get priority. I am very focused and dedicated to the students. They're the ones that I'm focused on. And I use student, we all know you're electricians or studying for electrical, but I use that because I consider everybody that I work with and I'm really trying to help as students because I take a lot of pride in it by doing that. And so that's just how I do it. If you need to reach out to me, please, by all means, do so. Reach out. Don't be afraid to holler. And I am here. I got your back. I will help you out. If you're interested in our Fast Trax program, you saw something in this hour session that you're like, I want to get involved in that, then do me a favor. Go over and watch some of our videos that are over on our website, electricalcodeacademy.net/Fast Trax program. And you will really get a sense of what the program offers, even more than what you might have seen tonight. Because there's still other features in here that we have that just I haven't covered, and we will cover at a future episode. But that's it, folks. Thank you for taking the time. I wanted to do about an hour chat, and I came right to the end of it. You have any questions, holler at us. Again, all of our social media is right there. Blow us up, share it. And hey, if you were successful with our program, do me a favor. Take it as a personal favor of mine if you share the love and let people know that you used our Fast Trax program and that it helped you be successful. Till next time, folks, stay safe. God bless.